Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I am going to teach you how to pass a FedEx interview. So it does not matter which role you are applying for. If you have an interview coming up with FedEx, make sure you stay tuned, watch the presentation from start to finish, because I will help you to pass your interview, and to achieve that goal, this is what I will cover. I am going to give you a list of FedEx interview questions that I strongly advise you prepare for. I have carried out the research for you, and the questions that come up in this video are the ones that I strongly recommend you prepare answers to. I will give you brilliant, unique answers to tough FedEx interview questions. I'm going to give you some really important tips on how you can stand out during your FedEx interview. I will also answer some of the more common questions people ask about FedEx job interviews at the end of this presentation, and I will tell you about further resources you can get access to, including these slides and the answers to help you succeed. Let's get straight into it. And the first question that I want you to prepare for is going to be, tell me about yourself. Now, it makes perfect sense to prepare an answer to this first FedEx interview question. It does not matter which job you are applying for at FedEx, make sure you include the following three things in your answer: the skills and qualities you have, any relevant experience you have built up over the years that is applicable to the role you are being interviewed for, and finally, number three, what you are going to do in the role if you are successful. So here's my example answer to the first FedEx job interview question: tell me about yourself. I am a positive, enthusiastic person who has a track record of carrying out tasks on time and to a high standard. I am a diligent person who enjoys having responsibility for lots of tasks, and I am comfortable working both on my own and as part of a team. Now, over the years, I have built up experience of helping customers, working under pressure, meeting tight deadlines, and solving problems. I understand FedEx has built up an incredible reputation for being reliable, punctual, and customer focused. And if I am to succeed in this role, I will need to maintain concentration, follow company rules, and operate safely, whilst at the same time ensuring I continually learn, grow, and develop. So that's a brilliant, punchy, and positive answer that sets you up with confidence for the rest of your FedEx interview. Now, you can either pause the video if you want to and take a note of the questions and answers as we work through them together, or if you want to wait, I will tell you where you can download my full set of 26 FedEx interview questions and top scoring answers in PDF format. The next question: why FedEx? Why do you want to work for FedEx? Now, again, this question is guaranteed to feature early on during your FedEx interview. So let's make sure you are fully prepared with a unique, positive answer that shows you have researched this great organization. Here's another example answer to assist you. Why FedEx? Safety and quality are two very important values and principles of FedEx. Having researched the organisation prior to applying for this job, I soon realised this is a place where I will be supported, where I will get to work alongside other enthusiastic, like-minded people, and where I will get to make a difference to your customers' daily lives in the work I undertake. I am looking for long-term stable employment with the same company, and in addition to feeling a sense of pride working for FedEx, it is important that I work in a role where I feel I am contributing to the team goals, whilst at the same time growing and developing both personally and professionally. So that is another really good answer to help you pass your FedEx interview. Now, do not go anywhere, because I still have more questions and answers to work through with you. But when you're ready, if you want to click that link that has appeared in the top right-hand corner of the video, it will take you through to my website, passmyinterview.com, where you can download my full set of 26 FedEx interview questions and top scoring answers, including the ones we are covering today. But here's the next question I want you to prepare for, and that is: how would you resolve an issue with a co-worker? Now, questions that assess your ability to resolve conflict internally do feature often during FedEx job interviews. In your answer, focus on the following three areas: your desire to resolve the conflict quickly and amicably. That's important. Number two, how you will assess what you are doing to see if you are contributing to the conflict. And number three, how you will communicate with the other person to reach a compromise for the sake of the FedEx team. Here's my example answer to the common FedEx interview question: how would you resolve an issue with a co-worker? I would resolve it as soon as possible because any form of conflict can hinder the team's goals. I would first look to see if I were doing anything that might be contributing to the conflict, and if I was, I would change it. I would speak to the person whom I had the issue with to see if we can reach a compromise, put aside our differences and move forward positively. Now, with any form of conflict in the workplace, communication is vital, so I would seek to get things back to normal quickly. If we were unable to sort out the problem collaboratively, I would suggest we speak to our manager or supervisor for guidance. So that is a mature and intelligent response that shows you fully understand that conflict can have a negative impact on a team's performance. So you are taking control of the situation. You are first of all looking to see if you are doing anything to contribute to the conflict. You are then speaking to the person to see if you can reach a compromise, and that's the important thing. If you can't, you then suggest that you speak to your manager or supervisor, and that, in my opinion, is the perfect way to answer questions relating to conflict in the workplace. The next question: how would you handle a difficult customer? Now, customer service is one of the most important principles at FedEx. It is crucial you can provide excellent customer service in your role. So here's another great answer to help you. How would you handle a difficult customer? I would first and foremost listen to the customer to assess what I could do to provide excellent service. By listening to a customer, you are giving them the chance to speak and tell you what they want. I would always remain calm. I would ask probing questions to get to the bottom of their issue or problem, and I would then follow my FedEx training to put things right. At all times, I would be polite and courteous, and I would put the customer's needs at the heart of everything I did. So that's a great answer because you fully understand the important core principles of FedEx, which are, including others, safety and customer service. So you have to be good at providing great customer service, and that shows you fully know how to handle a difficult customer. The next question: describe a time when someone depended on you to complete a task. Now, putting the needs of the team first is very important whilst working at FedEx. In your answer, give a specific situation you've been in previously where you went above and beyond what was normally required for your employer. So here is my example answer to the common FedEx interview question: describe a time when someone depended on you to complete a task. It was late on a Friday afternoon and everyone was getting ready to go home when our manager came into the office and asked for a volunteer to stay behind late after work to take stock of an important delivery that was running late. We were commencing a new company sale on Monday morning, and it was vital somebody stayed behind late to take delivery of the stock and to check it for accuracy once it arrived. Now, although I had plans with my partner that evening, I knew how important the sale was to the business, and so I volunteered to stay behind and complete the work. My manager gave me a brief of what I needed to do and where the stock should be unloaded once it arrived. Now, the delivery eventually arrived at just after 7 p.m, and I made sure everything was correct and delivered in the right place, which then enabled us to kickstart the company sale at 9 a.m. on the Monday morning. That's a great answer because it is specific in nature and it demonstrates a situation where you have gone above and beyond what was required to help out your employer, and staying late after work is a great example of that. The next question that I want you to prepare for is: tell me about a time when you held someone accountable for not doing their job properly. Now, if you notice someone within your team at FedEx not pulling their weight, it is important you speak out and get them to start working at full speed again. Now, time is of the essence at FedEx, as you already know, and without a fully working team, delivery times can slip, which is not acceptable for an organisation of this nature. So here is my example answer to the question: tell me about a time when you held someone accountable for not doing their job properly. In my previous job, I noticed a member of our team started making regular mistakes that had the potential to impact on our team goals. As soon as I noticed the mistakes happening, I spoke to him in private to ascertain if everything was okay. His response was quite defensive, and so I went on to explain that I was concerned about the number of mistakes he was making and that it could not only be dangerous, but the mistakes would also impact on the service we were providing to our customers. Now, after he had listened to what I had to say, he confided in me that he'd been burning the candle at both ends and that he wasn't getting enough sleep. He told me that he was going to make some changes to his lifestyle, and since that day, he never made another mistake again. So that simple practice of talking to somebody about their underperformance has a positive impact where they start working to the correct standard again. So that shows that you're not afraid to tackle someone who is not doing their job properly, and that's really important. You don't leave the situation, you have to speak to them about it. Now, don't go anywhere because I'm going to cover in a second some of the common questions people ask about FedEx job interviews, and they will help you to pass your interview. Now, if you don't want to wait for these questions and answers, click that link in the top right-hand corner of the video and go through to my website and have a look at my 26 FedEx interview questions and answers, and you can download them all in PDF format as well, including the ones we have covered today. But let's have a look at these questions for you. So the first common FedEx job interview question is, so how do I prepare for a FedEx interview? Well, research the organization before you go along to the interview. Have a look at the About Us page on the FedEx website and take a note of any latest news stories. Now, FedEx is a great organization that does a lot of work in the local community. So write down some latest news stories that you can talk about at your FedEx job interview. My advice is to also prepare answers to all 26 FedEx interview questions that I have listed on my website. So you know where the link is. It's in the top right-hand corner of the video. It's also in the top comment below this video. Have a look at those 26 FedEx interview questions. Now, you might be thinking, Richard, that's a lot of questions to prepare for. It is a lot of questions to prepare for, but some of them are common sense. Have a read of them and make sure you prepare answers, because if you do, I strongly believe you will be significantly increasing your chances of success. And it doesn't matter which role you are applying for at FedEx, I believe those questions are likely to feature. The next question. So what should I wear to a FedEx interview? Well, do not wear jeans, a t-shirt or sneakers. Make sure you make an effort in your appearance. Wear something smart and formal. You do not have to go out and purchase an Armani or Gucci suit to look smart at an interview. You don't. Just wear something smart, because by being smart and presentable, it shows that you care and that you are serious about your interview with FedEx. Really important. The next question. How long does a FedEx interview take? So how long will my FedEx interview last? Well, the FedEx interview will normally last anywhere between approximately 30 and 45 minutes, but it largely depends on your answers to the interview questions. So you will notice within this tutorial that a lot of my answers are quite in-depth. Now, that's deliberate because I have over 20 years experience of helping people pass their interviews, and lots of people are succeeding after using, my tips and my advice. And it's important that you give in-depth answers because it shows that you really care and that you want to demonstrate to the hiring manager that you have all the skills, the qualities and the experience to do the job properly. So by providing in-depth answers, it's one way to stand out from the competition. The next question, what do I need to bring along to a FedEx interview? Make sure you take your resume and be prepared to talk through any experience you have that is relevant to the job you are applying for at FedEx. So if you take along your resume and it's got all your experience listed on there, you can get it out and you can refer to it. And that's a prompt for you to answer the question when they say to you, why should we hire you? Or what experience do you have relevant to this role? The next question, what questions should I ask in a FedEx interview? So when you get to the end of your FedEx job interview, you will have the opportunity to ask the hiring manager some questions. Now, a lot of people say, it's okay, I don't have any questions, you've covered everything in the interview. I think that misses an opportunity for you to show the hiring manager that you care. So, number one, ask no more than 3 questions. 2 or 3 questions is good. What questions should you ask? Well, don't ask any questions that are relative to pay or salary or leave. Don't say, I've got some leave coming up. Is that okay if I take it? Only talk about any holiday or leave that you have planned if they ask you. Don't ask about salary. Do not ask about that. You should know what the salary is. But these are great questions to ask. The first one, what will you need me to concentrate on in the first few weeks of starting? So that shows you're enthusiastic and you're keen to get going. The next one, what training will I receive once I start work at FedEx? So that shows you're interested and you're planning ahead. What has frustrated you about people who have held this or similar positions in the past? I love that question because it shows you're conscientious and you're thinking, well, I don't want to do things wrong in the role. So what has frustrated you about people who've held this position? Because I don't want to make the same mistakes. And finally, what are the plans for FedEx over the next few years? That's another great question. So there's 4 questions that you can choose from. And as I said, I would ask 2 or 3 questions. Don't forget, they have to interview lots of other candidates. So you don't want to be firing loads of questions at them because they don't have the time. But 2 or 3 is a great way to show that you are enthusiastic and keen to start work at FedEx. Now, I hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget to click that link in the top right-hand corner. Go through to my website. Have a look at those questions. You have the opportunity to download the answers as well. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm sure you appreciate a lot of work goes into these videos. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would very much appreciate that because I will help you throughout your career to pass any job interview. All of the tutorials are designed to help you pass your interview. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video, and it's always good to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. And finally, please take the time to hit the like button because that tells me you enjoy the content and I will therefore spend more time creating it for you. I hope you have a brilliant day. I genuinely want you to pass your FedEx interview and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much for watching.